Hi. So I think we're the generation of the almosts. We're almost there. We're almost ready. We're almost dating, but we're not really sure, right? And I mean, we can't blame ourselves, right? We can't take accountability for it because that means that we did something wrong. So that's a no-go. So let me tell you why you fear commitment so much and why that's the probably the only problem that's ruining your life. And it goes so much beyond than just situationships and ghosting and the blatantly obvious stuff. So let's talk about it. And if you're wondering why I'm disheveled, um, it's 6 a.m. I haven't slept. So good morning and good night. So let's talk about it. So first of all, situationships, ghosting, they're based on a lack of trust, a lack of reliability, a lack of security that all stems from the fear of commitment, right? We want all the perks of dating someone. We want all the perks of, being in love without defining what we are, without having that what are we conversation, without actually putting in the work and the effort. And we are probably investing as much time as you would in a relationship into your situationship, but you just don't want to call it that because you don't want the labels. And I'm not calling you out, I'm just showing you a mirror that is probably because of your fear of commitment. And that's okay, but like you need to know what you're going through right now. And you think that missing deadlines, procrastination and the fear of I don't know, starting something new, that's all something else, right? But it's not. At the end of the day, it's just fear of commitment. And when you say that, oh my god, I did not study hard enough for that exam that I just did, that's why I got a B grade or I got a C grade or I got, I don't know, 60% or something, that's also a fear of commitment. You fear that when you invest all that time and energy and you actually study and then you fail and then you get that 60%, that will be more painful for you than just not studying and getting that 60%. You don't want to risk it. You don't want that you put in all your time and effort and then just magically you get the same grade as you would when you don't study. Now that has happened to me, and recently I realized that was because I lacked commitment to myself, commitment to studying, and commitment to a lot of things, right? We don't have long term goals, we have such short term goals. We're like, what boba shop do I want to try? I mean, that's a pretty good goal, but we don't really plan ahead. We don't plan for that 5, 10, 11, 15-year future self, right? Because we're like, maybe the world is so uncertain, maybe that time even won't come. And that's where the fault lies. We kind of blame everything around us for what's happening internally, but who you are internally and what is going on externally can be disconnected. You can acknowledge that the world is a very weird place right now. You can acknowledge that, and that's completely fine. But you also need to acknowledge that you can work on yourself internally and kind of reverse that effect on yourself because you have that power, right? And let's talk about why you struggle with the lack of commitment, right? Why you have that fear of commitment. It's probably because we have endless opportunities, right? Like we scroll all day on our Instagram reels, on YouTube shorts, on TikTok, wherever you do that instant gratification dopamine dosage. And I also do that, right? It's not like I don't do that. There's a lizard on my phone. um that happens. So when we take that daily dose of dopamine, right, we're chasing that short-term gratification, but we're also reminded that there are endless opportunities out there. We're reminded that we can make 10K a month, 10K dollars a month, and it's nothing. We can get rich quick, we can make money online, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, and we can do that. And when we choose just one thing and commit to it, we feel like we're limiting ourselves. We feel like we're losing all these other opportunities that we have had, but we've not had them. Like, right? Like, how have you had them when you've not done any of them? You've just seen them, you're vicariously living through them from other people, but you've not done anything, right? So in that field of options. We feel like we've done so much, we've done nothing at all. Like we feel like we're limiting our options by choosing one thing, but that's all we can do right now. We can choose that one thing, work on it. If that works, great. If it doesn't, we'll move on to the next, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the whole point. Like, um you get that fear of missing out, you get that FOMO when you choose one thing, because you feel like, what about the other things, right? And this applies to everything. This applies to the life goal, this applies to a partner, this applies to everything. And if you're not in a situationship and you're not going through ghosting and nanoships and everything that is about this, then that's okay. But you have to realize that that is just the tip of the iceberg. This whole romantic part is just the tip of the iceberg. Below that lies missing deadlines, below that lies procrastination, below that lies everything else you just disregard as, everyone does this. So like, am I really doing something wrong? That's subjective. That's up to you. If you decide it's wrong for you, it's wrong. If you decide that you're wasting away your life on something that you won't even remember, like 1 year from now, then yeah, that's pretty wrong to do right now. But if you invest all that time into something you actually want to try and give it a go, then I think that's a success. Even if that thing fails, even if whatever you invest that time into fails, it's still better than doing something which you won't remember a year from now, right? So that's all I wanted to say, really. And like, you need to realize that this shiny object syndrome, of chasing one thing after the next, chasing, like, if I want this, oh, but she has this, what about that? But like, that's just gonna paralyze you even more. So acknowledge when you have a fear of commitment. Acknowledge that. That's the first step to the whole journey, right? You just need to acknowledge it, and you need to make sure that you know within yourself when you are procrastinating and when you're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, and realize that you are not doing this as a way of happiness. You're escaping something else. You know what you have to do, you know what you want to do, you know what brings you actual joy, that actual happiness, that actual serotonin, but you're escaping that with this fake dopamine, with this fake serotonin. And that's completely fine. But you have to decide till when it's fine, right? There has to be a stopping point. You can't just waste away 10 years of your life, because that's what will happen if you keep scrolling even 3 hours a day on your phone, right? So sometimes I think that everything I want to say comes back to scrolling and this reeling culture and shit. But in the end of the day, that is the main point I'm trying to make, that the situationships and all are just the tip of the iceberg, and you need to work on something much more deeper than that. So realize that you have a lack of fear of commitment, and that it's okay to have a fear of commitment. And I read this quote that if you don't do something that you care about, then you'll be stuck doing something you don't care about, and you'll not be able to escape that, right? So if you have to do something, if you have to work on something, if you feel like you're being unproductive, so be productive with something you like doing, with something you love, right? And I wish you all the very best. Go on, do something. And also, whenever you feel like you need to you know vent out your emotions or do something like that, go journal, man. It's really nice. You should just write something. If you don't like the pen and paper format, write it in your notes app. It works out every day. And the sun's not out yet. I mean, it's hiding behind the clouds. And I'll give you an update on myself, because I want to. um, I'm doing pretty good, except the sleep schedule, which I need to improve on that. So if you have any tips on how to improve the sleep schedule, please help me. Other than that, maybe I'll just pull an all-nighter today, and I'll sleep early today, right, at 8 or 9 p.m. And then my circadian rhythm will be all right? So if I hack that on how to get the sleep schedule thing right, then I'll tell you guys, because my sleep schedule has been very bad since boards, like since 4 months. Like I've been sleeping at 5 a.m., waking up at 2 p.m. every day without fail. Because I feel like, at night I'm the most productive, but that's not true. That's not at all true. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope you have a great day. And I'm posting this like right now after I edit this, like add the caption and stuff. So hopefully this will motivate you in the morning, right? Bye bye.